registered land, just because it's important for SQE1, but it also becomes really important for SQE2, because the registered land process of buying and selling property becomes a big part of SQE2 as well. So, a little tiny bit of background, not much, just a little bit, okay? Before 1925, there was no such thing as registered land, okay? It was basically just land, okay? Not registered, unregistered, no distinction, okay? And it was all based on the documents that you had to prove your ownership. Now, those documents were many. So, for example, there would be deeds, there would be grants of assent if you got the property through somebody's death, if you'd inherited, all sorts of documents. And if you wanted to buy a property before 1925, you would have to search back through all of these documents. And you would have to go back at least 15 years, according to the Limitation Act, to make sure that nobody else had these rights over your property. Now that is all well and good, that's fine, but it's a really difficult job, because if any of these documents are missing, how do you know you're buying the property from the proper owner? That was the idea. Now, there was another problem too, and that was that before 1925, technically before around about 1919, women could not own property in England. Women's names were not allowed to be on the title, right? So therefore, what happened was World War I, and all the men went off to fight, ended up being killed in their millions, and then they would not return home. So their wives, who were in the properties, were like, oh my God, I don't own the property, my husband does. And neither, you couldn't even leave your property to your wife because she could not own the property. So what would happen back then, quite a lot, and not just in England, in Australia, in New Zealand, in all of those Commonwealth countries, is that the men would not return, and then their brothers would turn up and say to the wife, my house now. So it was really problematic.